Today I have a good news to share with you, and I have brought this good news to you. To reach out to you, I want to bring this good news to you that your calling is calling you, and your calling, where is it? Is in your hand. Your calling is in your hand, and how did you respond to your calling? That is I wanted to share. How you respond to your calling. Your calling is in your hand. How did you respond to your calling? Now, the calling is in your hand. How did you respond to your calling? Very first thing I wanted to share, and that is, what it says here. There's a message here, and it says something. It says, I woke up like this. So she is always admiring. She woke up with beautiful appearance and she looked beautiful and she is feeling really, really encouraged. It's like energetic she has, and she wake up or he wake up because you say, I wake up like this. How do you wake up? Your calling is matter how you wake up and what your calling is speaking to you, passionate about. What is your calling is passionate about? What is saying to you? And is it motivating you towards your calling to achieve the goals? Because your calling is has to be with passion. It is passion. Every day is like a passion to achieve goals, and your calling is with passion. It is to motivate you towards your calling, and it is full of energy. It energizes you. It just so passionate about because it's your calling. How did you respond to your calling, and what do you feed your calling with? You got two things in your hand. You go calling in your hand, how you respond your calling. How do you feed your calling with? How do you feed your calling? Two things you go in your hand, your calling. How do you wake up? How your calling is full of energy and passionate about, in your spirit you feel passionate about, and it is like you want to achieve your goals. And what you feed with your calling, that is also very important, because calling is in your hand and the drink, the food is in your hand as well. How did you respond to your calling, and how did you feed your calling? This is a very important thing. Two things are in your hand: calling and feeding. What do you feed with? How you respond to your calling. Do you wake up with the passion? It's like there is a passion in you, and you just wanted to, achieve something. It is like you want to achieve goals because your calling is so full of passion. It is energy. It's drawing you close to your, to your goals, because calling is to achieve goals every day, every time. And it is a passion. It is passionate because it's like you cannot help it. You wanted to just do it. And this is your calling. Then how did you respond? How did you feed your calling? What kind of word and feeding food you are feeding to your inner man, your calling, your spirit, and to fill with? What is that you're filling your spirit with? Is a self-development. This is a self-development. Your calling is you respond to your calling, and how you respond to your calling, doing what, and then it is how you're feeding your calling. How do you feed, and what do you feed with? What do you drink? What do you eat? And that is important. Your spirit and your spirit man that is inside has to line up your outward feeding food, and your passion has to line up with your calling. So what is that you're passionate about? What is that? It's a self-development. So you need to self-develop first, and feeding the right things to your spirit, to your spirit man inside. Your spirit man need to be filled with the right word, and feeding is important. That is wonderful. This is water. So how did you feed your spirit man? This is your feeding your natural man. Your spirit man is also does need water. It is the Holy Spirit. What is the Holy Spirit that you are, like the verse is giving you, and praying in tongues? What are you doing with your spirit man, with your drink, with your food, with your calling? What are you doing? Two things are in your hands: your calling and food. What are you feeding with? Self-development. This is a self-development, to develop yourself, very first thing. And what are you feeding yourself, and what are you passionate about, and searching and awakening your calling is by passionate towards your calling. And this is the good news. I have come to encourage you, and it is to uplift you, and it is to say yes, you can do it. Self-development is moving towards your calling, is moving towards what you feed with, and that is very, very important. I'm very sure you are encouraged. And today is 9th of May 2022. I'm Susanna Kurana.